think about it. And talk through 3 or 4 songs already. Okay. Looking at a nigga with your palm out. Hey, bitch, I ain't even see your dad.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of my story time / travel vlog. So if you have not watched part 1, please go back and do that before you come to this one, because in this video we're about to talk about the rest of the trip all the way till I took my ass home and got in the bed. So you don't want to miss it. Grab you a snack, find somewhere comfy to sit, because, honey, we about to finish this trip. Let's go. Back to the doggone trip. We had dinner that night, then we went to sleep, okay? Got up the next morning. We went poolside again for a little while. We were sitting out there talking to some of the couples that we had met the day before, just trying to see, you know, what is it that they had planned on doing, if they had any excursions. They had a really good, now I will give them this, they had a really good burger and fry at the pool. We was all tearing up the burger and fry every time. I don't know why we was acting like a pack of wolves, because it seemed like they was bringing out one hamburger and fry at a time. Like we was ordering it one order at a time. So when somebody plate will get there, it was like we all hovered over that plate like a damn pack of wolves, and in 5 seconds that plate was gone. Then somebody else will order it and we'll hover over that person's plate. Like we could have just all ordered a burger and a fry at the same time. But child, we was out there living life. After that, we went and washed up, and it was time for our first excursion, which was the ATV riding at a place called Cactus Tours. Our ATV guide was super cool, and we did not take the original route that we were scheduled to take, because I was the only one that chose not to ride a regular ATV. I wanted more of a car style type of vehicle. So this got us a longer ride than we should have gotten, because we were actually supposed to ride with other guests, but because I was the only one that was in a car style, they had to take us on a different type of tour. So it ended up being just us 6 ladies on our own little private ride, which was super cool, because I didn't want to have to keep up with no strangers anyway. So it was just us 6 ladies out there in the desert, and they even made a pit stop where we got to get water, and we visited a camel named Sabrina Kardashian. It was really neat to be that close to a camel, because I've never been that close to a camel. But Miss Sabrina had an attitude, honey. So we snapped a couple of quick photos and we moved on. All of the ATV riding and getting back to the resort had us completely worn out. So we took a short nap, and then it was time for dinner. Of course, we have been drinking water all day, and I have been drinking water throughout the vacation, but you know, your girl was definitely on some adult beverages as well. So when it was dinner time, between me already being tired and tonight's waiter being Mr. Carlos, I was at the table acting a little unusual. So I'm about to insert a clip and let y'all see that your girl doesn't always have it together, okay?
What happened?
Do I look nice?
You is pretty. You
Thank
is
you,
smart.
You is
I'm
kind.
hot.
You is sweaty.
I am sweaty.
You ain't even got your food yet.
But I'm still fresh. Fuck y'all talking about.
I think you need to eat them croutons.
You want my croutons?
I think you should eat them.
When that tequila done touch the bottom of your soul that quick.
Yo,
Right.
Carlos trying to take me home.
Can you open your eyes while you talk?
But Shantae's got a man.
Where he at? Sing it to him, friend.
He love his woman. Pop that shit, mama.
For day 3, we went back to the pool because the pool was just relaxing, y'all. The pool was where it's at. We was relaxing. We was sunbathing. We was eating up them folks hamburgers and french fries and hot wings. We was drinking up them people alcohol. You know what I'm saying? The pool was pooling. That's all I'm gonna say. The pool was pooling. But on this particular day, I also took the opportunity and I decided to get as close as I could to the ocean. Now, as you can see, they actually had a line or some type of poles sitting out in the sand, like demonstrating where you cannot pass. So unfortunately, I had scheduled this trip right at the time that they were having a severe tornado or hurricane. I cannot remember which one it was. But they only get rain in Cabo 120 days out of the year, and it's just my luck. I picked the time they were having a freaking storm. But so yeah, we did experience a little bad weather. The tide is always like naturally high on this particular property, but because of that storm coming in, these waves were massive, y'all. I have never seen anything like that in person. It was so beautiful, but a little scary at the same time. But you know, nevertheless, we enjoyed our time out by the pool. I enjoyed my time out by the ocean. We were kind of on a time crunch, but I wish I could have really had time to just sit out there. They actually have beds right there by the ocean if you want to rent a bed, and they weren't expensive at all. I want to say they might have been $50 for the whole day. So yeah, that's nothing. They had little tables out there. They had lounge chairs out there. If you want to go out there by the ocean at night, they also had a fire pit. I mean, just really nice. Really, really nice. But long story short, I wanted to have a little more time by the ocean because I am a true Pisces, and when I'm by the water like that, y'all, it really gets my mind going. It gets my emotions going. Like, if I could just sit out there by that ocean with a pen and paper, I don't know what might come out. I really don't. But nevertheless, like I said, we were on a time crunch, and that was because we're headed on our next excursion. Lord have mercy, y'all. Okay, y'all, so now we're on excursion number 2, which is our dinner boat cruise. All right, we signed up for this with our resort guide. So the dinner boat cruise ended up being a 5 to 6 hour excursion because we were picked up by our tour guide, which was named Mr. Daniel. Daniel took us to a few different places. Our first stop was downtown Cabo, where he stopped us at a jewelry store where they actually catch the oysters and the shells and make the pearl jewelry in the store. That was a really, really neat to watch. And one of the ladies actually got to take the pearl home. So that was cool. I wish I would have won that, but it wasn't me.
Oh, wow.
They're pretty big.
Oh, you got a good pearl. Let me have it.
She's gonna take that to her mama.
So what does that powder do? What's that do?
It's a Colombian powder.
Yeah. I was getting ready to say, wait a minute now. What kind of Colombian powder?
No, just kidding. It's pretty big and white.
Yeah.
Normally they're big and black.
Hand out.
And you play, I've been in your program, I not with my right hands. So this makes you the first human to ever touch that pearl.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a neat experience to see how the pearls actually come out. He also took us to a pharmacy where you can walk in and buy most medicines that we purchase here, and we have to have a prescription for them. But you know, up there you just walk in and get what you need. And so that was a new one on me because I didn't know anything about that. And then our next stop, he took us to this really big souvenir shop where they had a bunch of things that we all ended up bringing home. And I found like a lot of neat things that I brought home for my family. And they also gave us a tequila tasting while we were in there as well. So we got slightly tipsy. I had got hot and started sweating like a overheated ass Cadillac, but I was still having a good time. Now, mind y'all, Daniel told us to make sure that we was done shopping and back outside by a certain time. We was outside about 3 to 4 minutes earlier than Daniel had told us to come out there. And Daniel ass had disappeared on us. Daniel was nowhere to be found. So at this point, we all looking crazy. Daniel ass showed up about 15 minutes later, and we was all expecting a refund because I'm like, I know we done missed the damn boat by now, so run me mine. But Daniel said that everything was, you know, still a go, and we were still about to get on the boat because it was just around the corner. Now, this is why I say make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into before you actually give anybody your money. Because, honey, we was expecting, you know what I'm saying, big pimpin' spinning cheese type of yacht. We was expecting Mr. Richie Rich, you know what I'm saying, a Puff Daddy type of boat. And we definitely were giving very much Gilligan's Island. We were definitely giving basic slash might need a couple of repairs on our boat, okay, when we got there. So that's what our boat was giving. We was all looking like, oh, this the boat? Okay. Yeah, so that was the boat. Now, mind y'all, on this particular day for the boat tour, we all put on our matching shirts. So when we got on the boat, we was Cabo 2021 ready, you feel what I'm saying? Everybody had cut up their shirt and designed it however they wanted to design it, and we all had different names on the back. So you know, it was cute. We was giving a vibe. We was definitely giving a vibe on the boat, but child, the boat wasn't giving us no vibe. Oh, okay. So once we finally boarded, I stayed seated on the side of the boat majority of the time, except for when it was time to go downstairs and eat. That was about the only time that I had got up, because about 30 minutes into the boat ride, Carisha ass started getting seasick. So she was out for the count for the rest of the ride. And then Patience, her vertigo kicked in. And so she thought she was going to be able to handle this boat because our tour guide our resort guide had told us that this was like a really big boat. And, you know, if she had vertigo, she'll be fine with it because it's big and da-da-da-da-da. But yeah, no. It still took her out, okay? So now at this point, you got Carisha and Patience. They are down for the count. I think they had went downstairs on the boat so that they could be closer to, I guess, closer to the ground, if you want to say. Closer to the ground. And that's also right where the restroom was. So if they needed to go to the restroom for anything, they was just kind of right there. So yeah, they're sick. You got Betty Crocker, who is looking like she is absolutely bored out of her mind because we're in the middle of the water, which means there is no Wi-Fi. That's number one. And then number two, they playing all this unfamiliar ass music. So yeah, she was just kind of there because it's like, all right, I don't know this music, and I ain't, you know what I'm saying, I'm not caked up with the cake up, so what's it really giving? Yeah, so she was definitely giving the look of boredom on her face. Nemo was doing what she usually does. She was bouncing all over the place, constantly having somebody to come look for her, because we got to make sure that she didn't jump over the side of the damn boat. Now, me and Medicine, we pretty much was neutral the whole time. We was just kind of going with the flow, but you know, just being honest, I was completely over the excursion from the time that I sat down, because it was not what I had been envisioning the whole time. So, because my thing was, I wanted to be close to the water. I wanted to be close to the big waves crashing. I was hoping to see, have a couple of whale spottings. I wanted to see the seagulls and pelicans and penguins and all of that shit that sit up on the side of the rocks. Like, I wanted to go over in that part of the excursion, but our boat was so big that it didn't offer none of that. I never seen a whale. I never seen none of the penguins. It just didn't give what it was supposed to give, child. But then there was a little glimpse of hope, because on the way back to our dock, they had finally started playing some hip-hop music, so they had livened the boat up quite a bit. So Nemo and Betty was killing it out there on the dance floor. Me and Medicine was still stuck on the side of the boat, because we were both in fear of getting up, because we couldn't keep our balance. She couldn't keep it because she was high as hell. I couldn't keep my balance because I'm fat as hell. So, you know, that was out. And then you still got Carisha and Patience downstairs with their stomachs turned upside down. So, all in all, we really could have kept our money for excursion number 2, but it was still an experience, and it was still something that all 6 of us shared together. So I'm not upset about it. Like, just because it wasn't what I expected, I'm still very happy that I did it, and I wouldn't change anything about it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's that. Now, that was it for the boat excursion, but I will say, y'all, at about 3 a.m. that same night, my stomach got me up out the bed, and it said, "No ma'am, Pam." So I was toe up going back and forth to the bathroom from like 3 a.m. to maybe 7 a.m. From about 3 to 7 a.m. my stomach was destroyed. So if I could give a tidbit of information, I would just say that any type of protein dishes that you eat, I don't care if it's chicken, pork, fish. I mean, I know stuff like beef and other certain foods, they don't have to be 100% all the way cooked through and through, but you already know your chicken has to be cooked through and through. And I just feel like they was in such a rush, because they had already told us when we got on the dinner boat cruise that they were running just a little behind on having the dinner ready. So I feel like at some point they had started rushing that food, and maybe I got a hold of some chicken that was not thoroughly cooked, and I just didn't pay attention to it because it was so much going on with, you know, because we were downstairs with Carisha and Patience. So I'm sitting, you know, I keep looking back at them trying to see if they're okay. Then I'm sitting at the table with Betty and Medicine. Don't nobody know where Nemo is. So it's like I was eating my food, but I wasn't really paying attention to my food. So I would just say, you know, make sure that all your food is done, because I did get really, really sick from the food on the boat. And it could have been for sanitary reasons, because I'm telling y'all, that boat looked like something off of SpongeBob. It looked like something that Patchy the Pirate was selling on. The next day, we didn't really do too much, but that night I did have my all-white birthday dinner, which I was so excited about. All of the... Shoot.
Chicken, where's your camera?
All-white dinner.
Yeah. You supposed to know your YouTube.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Hello, hello. Say hello to the camera. Whoop, whoop.
All the ladies looked so pretty, and you couldn't tell your girl nothing either. I thought I was really doing the zoo, okay? We ended up going to a restaurant that we had previously went to, only because I did not make a reservation in enough time for any of the other restaurants. But we all enjoy each other's company as usual, and then we called it a night. Now, the purpose of this trip was, again, for me to get lots of rest and relaxation. But honestly, I did not expect to turn in so early every night. Like, y'all, I was literally a grandma. Like, I was not auntie. I was not Auntie P Hope. I was Grandma Hope, okay? Because I swear to y'all, when about 9 o'clock hit, it's like my body said, girl, we're done. Go find your room, take your shower, and curl up in your bed. We're done. Okay? And I don't know where that exhaustion came from. Now, I figured on day one it was because of all the traveling. But no, it was like every night. Like between 9 and 10, my body was over it. Okay? Your girl was a party pooper. I ain't even gonna flex. I don't feel bad about being a party pooper because I had already told everybody way back in March that, you know, look, I'm going to be chilling. I'm going to be relaxing. We can go out. We can have fun. We can do stuff together. But I really want y'all to make this your own vacation because it's not a cheap trip. You know what I'm saying? Our trip was under $2,000. But at the same time, like, we all work a regular job. So for somebody to spend that type of money on me just to help me celebrate my birthday with me, you know what I'm saying? I definitely want you to get the most out of that experience as well. Like, don't just wait on me to do something because, as you can see, I'm not doing too much. On the last day, we had breakfast, we packed our bags, and we headed home. It was sad for all of us, but it was an experience I'll never forget. Once we made it to the airport, we found out that because of the bad weather, our flight had been delayed. Patients had gotten sick once again, but this time it was not from the boat ride. It was from the restaurant that we ate at the night before. So long story short, our plane ride that was supposed to leave at 5 did not leave until about 1 a.m. or maybe somewhere after. Me and Carisha got us some pesos to bring back as souvenirs. It took us forever to get past the check-in point where patients could not stop going to the bathroom and she needed wheelchair assistance. They had one restaurant left in the airport, so we all went and had dinner. Patience was still really sick, so she didn't. Betty was chilling at this point because they had Wi-Fi in the airport, so she was able to cake up on the phone. Medicine was freezing, but she was still super happy but sad at the same time because we were all headed home. I was irritated because I was walking through the airport and not only did I manage to get lost upstairs in the airport by myself, but my cycle started and I felt extremely dirty and in need of a shower. Carisha was irritated and ready to fight Nemo because Nemo kept wandering off and asking the most random ass questions that you could ever imagine. Whew, y'all, it was a lot going on trying to get home. So I just, man, I get tired just thinking about it. But I have heard a lot of people in stories that I've watched, for whatever reason, even people that didn't have a situation like ours where the issue was bad weather, the flights just seem to get delayed coming in from Cabo. So definitely keep that in mind if you're doing a Cabo trip. Like, just because it says that you're coming home at a certain time, don't really bank on that, because I have heard several stories and it did end up happening to me. But all in all, it worked out cool. But this story is not over. Hallelujah. We finally made it back to the Atlanta Hartsfield Airport, and you would think that everybody had their shit together by this point because we had such a long day just trying to get back home. Oh, but no. This is the time that Nemo decides that she needs to ask me for a ride home. Like, what? But I never drove my car to the airport. I rode with Patience. And Patience and Nemo were bumping heads the entire trip, y'all. So Nemo ended up asking Patience if it was okay for her to catch a ride. But Patience was still so super sick at this point that she just waved her off and said, whatever girl, get in the car. Of course, I had to drive because Patience was still so nauseous. We made it to my car. I took Nemo home, and then it was home sweet home for me. Overall, I had tons of fun. I made lots of memories, and I definitely got my rest. I would rate this trip a 7. I definitely enjoyed all the company, and that was actually my very first girls trip. So I'm super excited to do another one with these same ladies. I just feel like Cabo, and especially the resort that we were on, is more so made for couples. It's a very romantic vibe, and it's super chill. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed my vlog / story time, and I promise to make my next travel vlog a lot more put together. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is your girl P Hope. I want you to be happy, be healthy, be safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.